Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I love to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Elder Tahar and the rest of the elders that are firmly pushing this truth. And as always, peace and blessings unto the elect. All right, so as you see on the screen, it's an article, and it says, or it's a question, is a meat recession coming? So let's go into it. So we see that the Heavenly Father is hammering down Babylon. Right, so it says online meat delivery company Good Ranchers warned consumers on social media that a meat recession is knocking and supply is about to be tight as cattle and herd continues to shrink. See that? So it's about to be all-out famine out here, which is prophesied in the Bible, right? It says the cattle herd has shrunk due to droughts. Good Ranchers wrote on its Instagram account, our total meat supply for the coming year is down significantly. This is one of the main reasons a meat recession is coming. Whew. It says, this is Walter Kunish, senior commodities strategic at Hilltop Securities, agreed telling Fox Business that U.S. beef cattle supplies will continue to contract throughout 2023, further pushing up beef prices for consumer. Well, the first half of 2024, which Yahweh Dazah, we ain't going to be here in 2024, right? So we see that 2023 is not even going to, next year is not even going to start off right. Already, they're warning of a meat recession starting at 2023, and it might come even sooner, all right? Because we know that the Heavenly Father expedite things, right? Esau in his mind will say, all right, well, this ain't going to start until this time. Hey, but the Heavenly Father can actually hasten it. All right, that meat recession can start next week for all we know. And this is what they're just telling us. See that we don't know the complete ins and outs because we're not there, right? But of course, they have to say things so that the people don't bug out. And for the most part, it's probably a lot worse, right? So it says, we believe that an acute and protracted drought in the southwest U.S. is responsible for increased culling of beef cattle, which is leaving the U.S. Structurally short beef cattle and beef supplies, right? So now let's go ahead and go into the scriptures because, of course, this is going to lead into a famine, right? Which is what we've been saying. And then you take a look at the other conditions of what's going on in Babylon the Great. The gas prices is starting to escalate once again. I seen that on the news, and I'm seeing it for myself when I'm driving past these different gas stations. It's back up to $4 over here in PA. Now, I'm not sure about everywhere else. I know in California, especially in LA and the Bay Area and Sacramento, they like at $7 over there. So and it's probably about to push to $8. I'm not too sure, but more than likely it's about to push to $8 over there. If it's rising over here and on the north, on the East Coast, I know for sure. I know for damn sure it's escalating like crazy over there. Why is that? Because the Heavenly Father is wrapping up the show. Hey man, Babylon the Great. It's done. It's finished. So this is 2 Verses 15 and verse 5. It says, behold, saith Adonai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. That's right. So that's what the Heavenly Father is bringing. We see that World War III, the tensions between these different nations are rising. I believe North Korea again just fired more ballistic missiles in the South Korean Sea. Right, I saw that on the news this morning. Famine, the drought concerning meat, death, and destruction. And that's all happening right now because we're in the times of prophecy. So these next up and coming weeks, up and coming months, is going to be hell. It's going to be hell for all these people on the earth, save for the remnant. And us that are doing this work in truth and in sincerity, are you sisters that believe? We're going to be good. Pursuant to Isaiah 3 and 10. And verse 11 applies for these wicked ass people. So now jumping down to verse 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's going to be nothing but theft, nothing but home invasions going on because of the lack of food that's going to be here in America. And because inflation, famines, that all leads to escalation of crime. So crime is going to go right through the roof. Not too long ago, I forgot how long ago, but I want to say this was during the winter time. Yeah, I want to say this was during the winter time this year. You had this one individual. He was a Jake. He was an Israelite, or he looked like an Israelite. He went into the grocery market in Abington. I want to say it was in Glenside. It was the Giants in Glenside, and he stole over $1,100 in meat. He just walked in the grocery store, put all that shit in his cart, and he walked out. He stole over $1,100 in meat. So that's what's going to be taking place. All these different grocery stores are going to get robbed. These people that are buying their groceries, you will have some grimy niggas, grimy Edomites out there waiting for you. Hey, look, don't go grocery shopping at nighttime. It's going to be the same shit like as these different gas stations. How people are getting cooked, they're getting their shit kicked back at their at the gas stations, being stabbed up. Being at a grocery store is going to be one of the most dangerous places to be at, just like the gas stations. Which that's what I said a few months ago. I said, man, the gas station is going to be one of the most dangerous places in the cities to be at. And see what the Lord did? All these deaths, all these crazy things are happening at these different gas stations now. It's likewise going to be with the grocery stores, with the grocery markets. That's gonna be one of the worst places to be at, especially at nighttime. So all the food shopping got to get done during light out, and you better hop on it quick too, because we know that now around this time it gets darker. It gets darker faster. Man, you order groceries. Yeah, they won't say that they deliver your groceries to you. Man, these different Instacart shoppers, these ship shoppers, man, they gonna take your shit and take you home. Why? Because over the prophecies. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So, man, the crime, listen, all morality, that's going to be thrown out the window. Our people that's been so-called being in the law-abiding citizen, that's all going to be thrown out the window when shit hit the fan. And then for the other side, for the flip side, majority of these people are going to die of famine. Right? This is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these things shall come? And when you break down the word evil, it's a compound word, which means bad times. And we're living in bad times, right? Jumping down now to verse 22. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, which is better. All right, it's better to die from the sword than famine. Let's go ahead and grab that. And Lamentations, the 4th chapter. All right, it's better to die by the sword. It's better to get shot than to die of famine. This is Lamentations 4 and verse 9. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. That's right. So it's better that you get shot. It's better that you get your head chopped off than to die of famine. Hey, because that's a slow and painful death. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Yeah, man, you just laying there. Your body is decomposing. You're thinking about all your favorite foods. You're just going through hell. It's a slow death. But once you get shot, once you get your head chopped off, you get stabbed up. All right, boom, dead. That's it. Verse 10. It says, the hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children. What does sodden mean? To boil. And that's what happened throughout history concerning our people and other nations as well. Hey, when the famine hit, they boiled their own children. It's just they were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. That's right. So you had our own people eating their own children. Let's go ahead and get this in 2 Kings. This is an actual thing. So people are gonna just say, hey, we just gonna eat our children, we gonna eat our husbands, our wives. That's what's gonna be taking place during the times of Jacob's trouble. All right, so you see that? So the siege of Samaria, cannibalism, that's coming back in a big way, a huge way. Why you think Esau is making all these movies on it? Or you watch that movie, The Platform, and it's other movies as well that shows cannibalism. And also, I never forget when we were out there on the street teaching, I asked a few people out there, hey, would you, if it came down to it, would you eat a human? And some had to think about it and say yes, and some just say, hey, look, you know, if I'm gonna just do whatever it takes to survive. That's what they said. So this is already imprinted in the minds of these people. They done already thought about it, and they're gonna go through with it. So this is 2 Kings 6:24, and it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And when a city is besieged, nobody can come in, nobody can come out. You can't go out or you can't come in the city because you have a great army compassing round about that city. You try to escape, you die. Verse 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, which is 80 pieces of silver. That's what 80 mean. And the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver, which that's hyperinflation right there. Mind you, it says an ass's head, which is a donkey's head, was sold for 80 pieces of silver. Mind you, the head of a donkey more than likely has no meat on it whatsoever. No meat. And you're paying a fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So now you're paying for feces for 5 pieces of silver. Verse 26, it says, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help my lord, O king. And he said, if Yahweh do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. You see that? And this is where? Samaria, northern kingdom. Not sure what tribe, it doesn't say. So, verse 29, it says, so we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her the next day, give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. And there's nothing new under the sun, pursuant to Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. That's going to take place again. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 says the thing that had been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there's no new thing under the sun. So while we're dipping and dodging in the streets of Jacob's trouble, man, we're going to see people, lighting other people on fire, roasting people. I'm not sure what it's called, but they had the fire under them and they're turning them. We will see shit like that. Hey, it's gonna be bad out here. But us, the sincere believers, we ain't got to worry about a thing. We're gonna be all right. All right, we are gonna be all right. So now let me go back to 2 Ezra 16. right? In verse 33, it says, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Why is that? Verse 34, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish with famine. You see that? So you have a lot of women out here. A lot of women out here are going to be single. Why is that? Because, of course, they wasn't serving the Heavenly Father. So when the draft come, they're going to get drafted. They're going to die in a war. And also the famine is going to hit them. So you have a lot of people. The reason, the cause of their death is going to be famine. So, man, it's a shortage of everything. It's a shortage of everything. The diesel gas, food. Next is going to be water. When America is about to anticipate some great woe, some great distress. Right. So, Yahweh desire, if you brothers and sisters were edified. Till next time, shalom.